pleasant April I'm sorry about that. We are really on a fast-track mode, ladies and gentlemen. And a pleasant Saturday, April 12, 2025. We are back on the Prosperity Channel. And it's very sad. A lot of Americans want me to move forward to the American scenario because they're just sick and tired of so many of these situations that are all very redundant. Unfortunately, I have to mention this criminal by the name of Wendel R. Managat, a person who used to work with a company called RFM. And to Joey Concepcion, I'd like to tell you right now, he is destroying your good name, not only your good name, but the Filipino professional at large. We do not want him here at all because it's very clear that to John Concepcion, alam kong bata mo yan, you know, John, that is your boy, not mine, because I wanted him fired immediately once I even saw him. But the bottom line is Parish James Maserati Vasco requested him to stay. But anyway, the bottom line is he is destroying the good name of the Filipino professional. And therefore, I'd like to request Jean Concepcion to immediately ask this guy to get away, because we have been giving him 8 years of free information because of you, John, you know. But things have come to a position where he is acting in a very criminal manner. He opens my windows, you know, he enters there. I don't know how, but he even extorts information from my very own wife, Nancy Tubujan Uy Bautista. And therefore, I'd like to say that this is already a criminal offense. Even the FBI, the CIA, the police force, the good police force of Oklahoma is asking, is this for real? And therefore, to Jean-Marie Concepcion of RFM Selecta Dairy Products, I'd like you to ask this criminal animal by the name of Wendel Rolyon Managat to leave the premises of the United States of America together with his family. Because the reason why I have been, you know, nice to him is because of you, John. But things has become very, very thick, criminal and callous, that the Americans are asking me, who is this guy? Why is he breaking and entering your private abode? Well, I must confess, he is not authorized in any manner to do that, to say the least, because he is a low-class Filipino, because not all Filipinos are high class. He is low class. Together with his son, his daughters, and what have you. They have to be deported immediately. And also, I'd like to be very clear about Joy Behar, because you know, ladies and gentlemen, I am really sick and tired of talking about Filipino issues. We would like to move forward and solve the big issues we have here in the United States of America. And I was asked by a white lady, Gavin, can you stop sounding redundant? I'm sorry about that. That is true. Because this Filipino low-class criminals keep on bugging me, and even this guy by the name of Donald R. Kincaid. Oh my God, you cannot get lower than that. I am not associated with them in any shape or manner. So, to Joy Behar, the very sexy host of The View, I'm sorry that you left for Canada. But the least you can do is to say Donald Trump is doing a good job. Donald Trump, I don't know if you're going to agree on this, but will become one of the greatest, if not the greatest, presidents of all time. Two reasons. Number one, the economy. And number two, social degradation in America will be finally eliminated. I love your show, The View, the sexy, very feminine Joy Behar, but let's face it, Joy, let's focus on results. A lot of black people say you have to, what is this Filipino guy talking about? Delivering. Delivering means to say, Mr. Black Guy, achieving results. And Joy, whether you like it or not, Donald Trump is headed towards achieving results for economic issues, economic problems, crises, that will be finally resolved. Finally. I don't agree with President Trump's approach in economic systems, but we are on desperate mode. China is about to attack Taiwan, the Philippines, et al. Russia has almost declared World War III. Japan was also, Japan, the Japanese Republic, was almost about to be attacked by Russia after Ukraine. But thanks to, in fairness, Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, this was somehow halted. But the bottom line is this: World War III is already happening. In the Philippines, President Bongbong Marcos, the very smart president, finally has agreed to buying F-16 CDF fighters to at least stop the attack of China to Taiwan and from China to the Philippines. And therefore I ask the great president of the Philippines, President Bongbong Marcos, to immediately call me up as to how we can finance the additional more than 120 F-16 fighters to guarantee the Filipino nation at large that there will be no longer a threat of China. In other words, it is very clear that if China would attack Taiwan tomorrow morning and the Philippines about 140 F-16 CD fighters that would guarantee that the Philippines is able to militarily stop the quell or invasion of China to the Visayas region in the next 24 to 48 hours. Because I really want to segue from all this bullshit about Managat, na bata lang naman ni Concepcion. I want to focus already on this because Managat keeps on stealing my private abode at 9200. By the way, this is my private abode right now. This is an emergency video, and my other property at 8101 Westwood Circle. Okay? Because a lot of people are simply maligning maligning me day by day. That's why Joey Concepcion, the Honorable Joey Concepcion, must be able to come out in video to explain whether he is allowing this criminal by the name of Wendel Rolyon Managat to steal from me on my 2 private abodes. So that with respect to the FBI and to the CIA and to the whole government, police force of Oklahoma City, I am not whatsoever connected with this low-class Filipino criminal by the name of Wendel Rolyon Managat, which is so low. And therefore, moving forward, how do we address the $37 trillion deficit of the United States of America? Now that is the question I'd like you right now, dear listeners, to think about it. 37 trillion, well, about 36 trillion right now because of Elon Musk's initiatives. How do we solve that? Because if that will not be solved, World War III will happen tomorrow morning. I'm sorry to my connections in Japan, specifically Tokyo. I did not wear my tie because everything was rushed. Domo ne, arigatou gozaimasu ne. Thank you for watching again, my friends from Tokyo. Because as you know, Vladimir Putin's generals, because Putin is saying, not me, Gavin. It's my generals who wanted to attack Ukraine and then Japan. I said, you cannot be more stupid than that. But because of history, it will show that Japan did not have good relations with Russia more than a century ago. But we don't want to sound redundant. A lot of our viewers saying, Gavin, please just give us what you think about these issues. Okay, let me get right into it. Russia wants to end the war because of Trump, President Trump. Russia is bleeding by the day. They are hiring mercenaries from North Korea. So the way to do this is to fly immediately to Vladivostok to make it very, very productive. Because if we were to fly to Moscow, it might be too controversial. So So Vladivostok would be a neutral ground where we could do an endless is the word, endless. Not the Filipino way of, how do you call this? Low budget, for the lack of a better term. Because the negotiations between both parties means a very high budget. At Vladivostok, we can talk with the foreign ministers of Russia. And above all, Vladimir Putin through Zoom, and end this war tomorrow morning. Because whether you like it or not, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, President Donald Trump is highly respected by the Russian group. Not only Vladimir Putin, but the entire Russian group. He is respected. And therefore, it is very safe to say we can end the war. With the right budget, the right team, and we can fly to Vladivostok tomorrow morning. Together with an all-star cast of negotiators, all the way to the Italian government, all the way to the Vatican, all the way to Great Britain, all the way to Tokyo, Japan, all the way to all the 189 civilized nations of the world. And I'd like to be very clear. It can happen immediately. And therefore I say to the government of President Donald Trump, deport immediately these Filipinos who I don't know why they're here. Namely, Wendel Managat, Hermes, Cerdena, Eugene de la Paz, and the list goes on. I don't know why they're here. And based on evidence, they are here for the last 8 years and counting to steal from me. And that's why you still have a good name, John Marie Concepcion. Why don't you get out these scalawags tomorrow morning? Because hindi ko bata yan, I'm not associated with them, And I wanted them to be fired immediately by Paris James Maserati Vasco. But he said otherwise. But anyway, the bottom line is I'm not associated with them. To the FBI, to the CIA, to the police force, to President Trump, deport them immediately. Namely, as I told you, Wendel Managat and his family members, Eugene de la Paz and his family members, Hermes Cerdena and his family members, and a long list that I will be providing shortly, which I must say I was remiss. It's very sad, but we had another shooting in North Carolina, South Carolina. It never ends. And the reason being is because we have not stopped deporting these criminals. And again, we, sad to say, have to go to mourn with these people who got shot. And it never ends. All because of people like Wendel Managat. Before you know it, he's going to bomb another street like this Hermes Cerdena. He's an anti-American. You know what he called me? An amboy. Amboy means an American boy, which is all bullshit, I love America because of freedom. In the Philippines, well, you have freedom to have no freedom. It is a question of kung malakas ka ba. Those are the facts. And why are they here? Why are they here? Because they are here to steal from me, from my private abode at 8101 Westwood Circle, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with a zip code of 73127. 73127 is the zip code. And they extort information for my very own wife by the name of Nancy Tubujan Uy Bautista. I don't know. And in the spirit of the American tradition of, kindness and warm hospitality, we gave them what they wanted, but this has been ongoing for 8 years, more or less. I don't want Tom Cruise to accuse me of Christian stupidity because this is outright criminality, if I may paraphrase the great, or should I say, the greatest governor of Florida, or of the whole United States, Ron DeSantis. You have the freedom to steal, you have the freedom to cheat, you have the freedom to rape American intellectual resources. And if you do not leave the premises of the United States of America, or the new term is self-deport yourself and your family, Wendel, Rolyon, Managat, Eugene de la Paz, Hermes, Cerdena, and the list goes on. We've been very American to you, meaning to say we value freedom, but all you did was rob me and my company. And we lost millions, if not billions and billions of dollars. And as Tom Cruise would say, this is Christian, if I may paraphrase Mr. Tom Cruise, paraphrase Christian stupidity, where they rape America every single minute. And they even, would you believe, ladies and gentlemen, destroy my windows and let a kid enter the house, steal the information, Xerox copy of the documents, and sell it into the open market, including the Chinese, the Russians, North Koreans at that, including that animal by the name of Ernesto V. Mangunay, the animal of all animals. It's so sad, but I have to say this on the air. And they are my fellow Filipino, well, if you want to call it associates, then so be it. But not all Filipinos are professionals. Not all Filipinos are good. Not all Filipinos have high standards. These are the low Filipino son of a bitches, pigs, animals who destroy America day by day, night by night, hour by hour, selling the great America dream to the Chinese, to the Russians, and to all the anti-Americans. And they even call me an amboy. Amboys means American boy. And I don't know why they're here. Who was the person that let them in? that person might have been paid. And to John Marie Concepcion, bata mo yan eh. Hindi ko naman bata yan eh. I think you should be answerable for this. But I don't want to put you in a very awkward position because gusto kong masabi yung sinabi niya sa akin na bata mo daw siya eh. Bata mo daw siya eh. But I don't, I'm not going to go down to his low position. Mababang uring Pilipino yan eh. So I would like you to give me a call at my US cell phone number at 405-503-8511, or you can hit me with an email at superdeals with an S 1494@gmail.com. Or if that is hacked, you can hit me with another email at midwestern91@gmail.com para magkaliwanagan, because nakakahiya na ito dyan. This animal and his family members are making a mockery of the U.S. citizenry system. The immigration system has been not only compromised, has been bastardized, destroyed by this animal family by the name of Wendel R. Managat, Hermes Cerdena, and the list goes on. And therefore, I would like to end this video before it goes bonkers immediately, but you can call me up anytime, John Concepcion, at 405-503-8511. I am on Viber at 405-503-8511, or you can hit me with an email. So it's going to be clarified with the U.S. FBI, U.S. CIA, and the U.S. Police Force, the new U.S. Police Force under the great Pam Bondi. Para magkaliwanagan na. So it's going to be very clear, Because we've been very nice to them. But they're just animals, These are animals, Good night. Thank you. And this is Gavin Batista, the Prosperity Channel. I promise you we will move forward very fast, attacking the many problems we have in the United States of America, which we also love. And I promise you one thing, it will be done fast. Because the U.S. economy, for the first time in the whole world, will be applying economics based on science, not as a social science anymore. No more of that bullshit John Maynard Keynes and Paul Samuelson. Nothing. Those are a thing of the past. It will be all numbers. It will be all the new economic theories of yours truly, Gavin Batista, your host at the Prosperity Channel. Thank you and good evening.